Welcome back, dear viewers, and I am pleased to be joined with our distinguished guest in the studio, Mr. Abdelwahab Alenezi, founder and president of Kisra. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Hala Kuwait.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Now, we start things off, sir. What inspired you to launch the first crime science conference in the region?
So, for us, the intention was not to launch the first conference in the region. It's part of the work that we do in Kisra to launch the annual conference. It just happened to be the first one in the region and the first one of its kind globally.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see the relationship between technology and youth involvement in crime evolving?
So today, or at least for the last 10 years, crime today is all about technology. So every single crime, every single classical crime that was 20, 30 years ago required a victim to be present as becoming an opportunity for the criminal is no longer a necessity today. It's all through the technology and phones.
So what are some of the main goals that you hope to achieve with the upcoming conference?
Public awareness. We had all our guests globally come into Kuwait in all of their respective fields to deliver speeches in all for the sake of the public awareness and safety.
So do you hope that the awareness shifts more towards the youth, the parents, or the policymakers, let's say?
It's all. We think about it, studying criminology, as it being a matter of society in general, meaning the victims, the criminals, not necessarily the criminal themselves, but for other potential criminals, for parents, for the youth, for any person, any human being in risk of becoming a victim.
Mm-hmm. How will the conference contribute to raising community awareness about crime and technology?
Through the conference, we divided it into 3 different sectors. So we have the keynote, 6 keynote speakers in the morning, and then we have the 2 workshops and then the panel discussion. The point of all of that is to deliver the right things to do and not to do from the officials and the scholars themselves.
I see. And can you share some of those examples of how technology has changed the landscape of crime in the Gulf and North Africa?
Sure. So today, and especially last month, with the UN and over 60 countries signing a declaration declaring that crime today is no longer a classical crime. It's a thing that travels over borders. It is not limited by person themselves, meaning they're not required to travel overseas to commit a certain crime over any specific area. With a push of a button today, they can reach any region they wish to reach globally.
So as a follow-up question, I'd like to ask, each country has their own law. Someone might enter a jurisdiction and some laws won't apply to them as it would apply, let's say, in Kuwait. So how important is it for the countries in the region to cooperate and basically be aligned on certain aspects?
From a personal view, I believe that there needs to be a cooperation, not only when it comes to countries cooperating over this, but when it comes to even within the specific country, you'd have to cooperate between the public and private sectors, meaning when you need to legislate laws, you need to seek the legislators. And when legislators are legislating the laws, they need to seek criminologists as a prerequisite for coming up with the laws. And when we talk about the big event that happened last month in Vietnam, this is when more than 60 countries came to an agreement that crime today is completely digital and completely traveling across borders and countries.
So what role then do you believe young people should play in crime prevention and research?
Listening to the right people, taking the piece of information from the right parts and right institutions and right people when it comes to taking the advice. Public awareness is necessary. Listening to parents, listening to older people is also good, but not taking the complete advice from them. That to me is the key player when it comes to awareing the public.
So is there an active role to enroll, let's say, programs in this field in universities or something like that?
Definitely. When it comes to personally us, we do design training courses, let's say, to equip the people who are working more onto the law enforcement sector or the public speaking. When it comes to how to prevent and how to intervene and how to even detect, as an example, fraud. This is a live training course that we have been offering right now.
Yes.
Such courses would help the people into understanding what to do and what not to do.
Well, that's very fascinating, Mr. Abdelwahab. Well, we have to pause here as we do have a report to show our dear viewers. Dear viewers, we do have this report, and as usual, everyone behind the scenes have been working very hard to bring you the best content. So let's watch this report, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Hala Kuwait on KTV2, the family channel. And I'm still joined with our distinguished guest in the studio, Mr. Abdelwahab Mansour, who is a founder and president of Kisra. Now, Abdelwahab, how does Kisra plan to support young researchers and academics in the field of crime science?
When it comes to Kisra, we have a full team of researchers, of psychologists, of sociologists, of researchers, of even interns. So there is a designated tab which says join us on Kisra for people to join and people to deliver and people to share with us the stage when it comes to the public awareness. We actually had a couple of meetings this past week as well with some peoples who have high potential into serving the public and safety and public awareness in their respective fields.
And what challenges do you anticipate in organizing such a pioneering event?
Because it's the pioneering event, I'm expecting a lot of challenges. I'm hoping for none, but I'm expecting some. With the strategic partnership that we have today with the Youth Public Authority, I can safely say that we are more than ready to launch the first criminology conference at a top-notch level.
Do you feel any pressure?
With the conference?
Yeah.
I don't want to say pressure, I want to say delivering the most out of the conference to the people. Just making the most out of every speaker, which I'm pretty sure that every speaker came prepared with their PowerPoints and presentations and talks and advices to serving the public and the globe.
Amazing, and we do hope you do that, and of course in all your endeavors, not just that, yes. So how can the findings from this conference influence public policy or law enforcement strategies?
So the whole point of doing conferences in general, whether it's criminology or any other field, it's the results that you come up after the conference. When you have such distinguished and international guests, you only brought them in because they have something that is unique to them, something that they spent their lives doing research with. So this kind of research and these kind of results are what help the specific fields when it comes to legislating the laws and such, and to knowing what to do and what not to do, and how to keep up, most importantly, with the with crime today.
Yes. So when keeping up with crime today, this is a great segue, by the way. We mentioned something off air about data and how that's an issue. Can you expand on that, please?
Definitely. If we go back 20, 30, or 40 years ago to the classical crime, you had to have a victim acting as an opportunity for the criminal to do the crime. Today, that's no longer needed. Today, data online is the opportunity, is sometimes the incentive for criminals to commit a crime. If not for them, for other criminals. Such data, they might even commit a certain crime, but then respread and share that data to other people who can commit more crimes to that. What I mean by that is with social media and other platforms today, people share too many information about themselves when it comes to their age, when it comes to where they're spending their summers, when it comes to their even hobbies or what they like and what they not, their daily routine. For some, that's not just personal life, that's an incentive to know how to approach that victim.
Exactly. So the answer, Abdelwahab. Now, you mentioned earlier before the break about the problem that happened, I believe you said a couple of months ago in Vietnam or something?
That's a solution.
My question is, do we have to always wait for something that extreme to happen, God forbid, Do we have to wait for the crime to happen? Or can we predict such things?
We can. We definitely can predict crime. The right way to do it is not to deter criminals from committing a crime. The right way to do it is to prevent crime from even happening. Personally, my master's thesis was into expecting crime in 10 years. So back in 2021, when I did my master's thesis, supervised by Professor Ebony Ruland, not too sure if she's watching this or not, but I'm going to send her this.
She'll be very proud of you, I'm sure.
I hope. I hope. So I predicted crime over the next 10 years. And many of the things that we came up with is happening today. And most of the things are related to data.
I see. So then, can you tell us what are your long-term visions, speaking of that, for the development of crime science in the region after the conference?
Definitely. For us at Kisra, the main thing for us is to study what's happening and to analyze what's happening. The only way for us and others to predict crime is through studying what's happening today. You cannot predict crime just simply by looking at crime. You have to study what happened before and what's happening right now to predict what's going to happen in the future. With, of course, what's happening and the shifts that are happening to the region, to sociology, to even the relationship between people today. All of that matters into predicting the crime and the future of crime.
Now, Abdelwahab, to conclude, do you have any final message that you'd like to emphasize for our dear viewers watching at home?
I have, if you allow me to share two messages.
Sure.
Never share too much in any app, any platform, anywhere. Just share what's needed. Your name, your first and last name is more than enough. Don't share your full name. Your birth date, your information, keep that to yourself and keep that personal. You never know the intentions of the other side. The second message, take the advice from the people who are hired to do so. For us in Kuwait, law enforcement. Don't even take the advice from me personally. Take that from experts, yes.
Well said, Abdelwahab, and we thank you for joining us today and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, now, dear viewers, that was Mr. Abdelwahab Mansour, the founder and president of Kisra, and we wish him good success in his future endeavors, of course. Now we move on, dear viewers, to this report that we have prepared. Let's watch it together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.